Hello folks, I'm the Red, and this is Demon Bluff. We don't really have to worry about when we leave off here, because there's not a lot of continuity, or I should say there's no real continuity between different playthroughs. Let's just jump right back in. I think we have just unlocked everything that this demo has to offer, but we haven't yet played with it all, and we haven't yet unlocked every game mode. So, there's still goals to be had. Lilith. Kill a random unrevealed character. Deal 2 damage to you. Every night, right? That's per night? Yeah. So, Lilith is 3 from the closest evil. That's the knight. It's a plague doctor. Not corrupted. You're saying you are corrupted and that 8 is evil. Do we have anyone that's going to be duplicating people? The doppelganger and a shaman. So we have multiple duplications of good characters. The dreamer, the confessor say that they're good. You could be the shaman. You're saying there's 3 evils among the 3 of you. You're saying there's 0 evils among the 3 of you. Lilith. Do you have any poisoning? No. Well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking you're evil. I was to go, you're again saying 3. Corrupted. Something corrupted you. What corrupted you? Plague Doctor corrupted you. Counselor here. Oh, I should have been able to guess that the counselor. And then who was when you were the shaman? Okay. We got Lilith shaman, and then a minion. We've also got a plague doctor who's going to be poisoning people. Alchemist who might cure them. Empress, 1 of 8, 3, and 4. And then equidistance. You're saying counterclockwise. You're saying clockwise. We got a plague doctor. Another. Oh, how many enlightened are there? And then evil's not adjacent. You're a judge. So the shaman means that there's 2 of these enlightened are real. This judge. So that it's the Empress is saying that it's only one out of those three. Let me check her with the judge. She's lying. He was telling the truth. Are you corrupted? Not corrupted. Oh. I really didn't know what to make out of that one. There's one more heart. Two evils. Okay, we've got a Puka, a counselor. We've got a wretch and a plague doctor for the counselor. We've got this judge. 4 is the real alchemist. You cured 1 corruption. 4 or 2 is the counselor. There's a wretch, the plague doctor, and there's a gem crafter. So you're not corrupted. Telling the truth. That can't be true. War 2 is a counselor. Actually, I probably should have checked your thing because that seems fairly strong. 4's a real alchemist. Okay. So you were corrupted. You can't have been cured. But the only corruption we're getting is from this plague doctor. So this judge is lying. This plague doctor's probably real. Plague doctor's an outsider. Who will sit next to the counselor. Wow, I am not doing good today. Okay, let's try this again from the top. It looks like, oh, we have lost a heart already. I'm not sure where one run ends here and the next begins, but let's try to just get one win in. We've got a witch and a puka. You're saying both of these are evil. There's only one pair. Slayer. Okay, Slayer got the witch. Puka is 1 card from the closest evil. Which would make sense for it to be here, because then we'd be poisoning the lover. Judge, check that you're saying the truth. There we do. We managed to get both of them this time without killing anyone extra. Ah, Baker. Poisoner's 3 away. Gem Crafter is saying that you're good. 1 card away from corrupted. Shaman is 1 card from the closest evil. And then you're saying this gem crafter is good. Okay. We've got a doppelganger. We've got a shaman, we've got a poisoner. So it is plausible that you're doppelgangered like this. So you could be telling the truth. What do we have corrupted? We do have a poisoner out there. So you're saying that you would be corrupted, and... Why didn't you turn anyone? Because you weren't the real baker. Okay, so you're saying the poisoner is 3 from... would be poisoning you. You're corroborating this. You're corrupted, though, in that scenario. You couldn't kill... Is that because you're the poisoner? No, you're the doppelganger. Which means that these are shamaned. Right? One, two, three. Are you the poisoner? No, you were the poisoner. Corrupting this gem crafter. So you were good, but you were lying. You are 1 away from the corrupted. And then, yeah, the shaman is directly next to the poisoner. Okay. My bad. 2 evils. We've got the Ba and the shaman. And we might have a plague doctor. Closest evils clockwise. No corrupted characters. We don't have anything healing corruption. I didn't see the alchemist there, so you've got to be lying, right? Because we have a plague doctor, unless the plague doctor is corrupting you? 4 is corrupted, 2 is evil. You're saying that's not true. So... Shaman giving us an extra night. One of the evils hiding out as. And then you're evil. Which would explain there being no corruption. Because you're actually a plague doctor. And... Wait, you're saying one of them is a doppelganger? But there's no one... The doppelganger's wouldn't be duplicating anyone. So are you corrupted by the... Okay. We're testing the knights. All 3 knights are real. Okay. So, what does that mean? That the Plague Doctor is false. There is still no corrupted character. Because you're saying between the 2 of you, and you are evil. Plague Doctor, Shaman, Druid, Ba. The Doppelganger's here. Okay. What do we have this one? We have a counselor, we have a puppeteer, and we have a drunk. You're saying either 3 or 6 is the puppeteer. There's 2 away from a corrupted character. The puppeteer doesn't corrupt people. You're saying 6 is good. And the puppeteer makes a villager become a puppet, not you. So if you are the puppeteer, the gem crafter has to be your puppet. You're both busy. Got a knight. 2 knights. We don't have anyone poisoning people besides being the drunk. So I'm gonna test you. You're the counselor, which means that one of you two is drunk. Doesn't seem to be you, so it's probably you? So you're 2 away from... So that would make sense. You're 2 away from a corrupted character. You're not corrupted. You're saying either 3 or 6. So you're the puppeteer. You're the puppet. And then I'm just looking for a minion, which is you. There we go. That one was an easier puzzle. Next we have a puka and a puppeteer along with a drunk and a plague doctor. There's the plague doctor. Closest evil is clockwise. Both of you are agreeing. You're a fortune teller. Between 2, 6, and 8, there's outcasts, a minion, and a villager. I think you're corrupted. So you're the minion? Plague Doctor, you're not corrupt. Oh, I should have checked the baker because we knew they were corrupted. Okay. You're the puppeteer. We need to find your puppet and the puka. I think you might be the puka. Because that would mean that you are the one poisoning, right? Who we have? We have a drunk. We have a plague doctor, so you could be corrupted in a couple different ways. They're telling the truth. Okay, fortune teller. You're confirming that you're not drunk. A jester. You're saying that the 3 evils here. You're saying that there's a plague doctor. So I think you might be either the drunk or affected by the plague doctor. You're the puka drugging the baker here. No, wait, hold on. You've been saying the right side is more evil. I completely fucked that up. So one of you might be... I still think that's enlightened. Yeah, the enlightened's the puka. And then you have to be the puppet. Okay, we still got there. And then you were drunk. You were corrupted by the plague doctor. You're a jester, a druid. We've got a counselor and a ton of outcasts. There are no corrupted characters. I have some trouble believing that. Okay, so we know you're good. Counselor is one card from the closest evil. I'm gonna guess it's... I'm still kind of guessing it's you. I'm gonna... Yeah, okay. Counselor situated between the outcasts. So why couldn't you kill... Is the Plague Doctor... You're corrupted. 6... Thank you for telling me the wretch is evil. That's exactly what I needed. You're lying. Jester. If... You're saying 0 evils there... I would think that you would be... You might be drunk. Druid, you're saying there's Plague Doctor. Counselor is one card from the closest evil. That makes sense. I'm still thinking that you're... maybe one of you is drunk. You're corrupted. So you're evil. Okay. You were corrupted by the Plague Doctor. You were drunk. I don't think there was any way for me to puzzle that out. I was just guess and hope you're right. We've got a counselor, a witch, and a ba. You get 2 corruptions. 7, 8, 9. You're the original baker. 2 pairs of evil. You were enlightened. So you're saying out of those 3 there's an evil. And then we've got this witch preventing us from opening that last one. How much corruption do we have going on? Yeah, I don't think we have enough corruption for you to have tier 2 corruption. And... yeah, no, you were lying about that. You were overclaiming. Which means that I'm inclined to believe you. And I'm disinclined to believe you. Because I think that the baker is real. Nope, I was wrong on that. So maybe you're the witch? Yep, you're the witch. Hunter, you're 2 away from the closest evil. That tracks. Why was I believing you in the first place? What you were saying wasn't making sense anyways. There's no... well, no, there's a doppelganger, but... we have the counselor who should be sitting next to the wretch here. Nope. Wait, what? You're saying you're 2... what? You're 2 away from the closest evil. Isn't that... no, the wretch is... I got confused by the wretch again. Okay. 3 evils. We've got a counselor, witch, a ba. We've got a drunk and a plague doctor. Closest evil is in this direction. Either 1 or 4. You're dizzy. 1, 5, or 2. You're saying 5 or 8 is the counselor. You're 1 card away from someone who's corrupted. So, if I check you for corruption, you're not corrupted. So you're saying 5 or 8. One of you is maybe a drunk, or there's no doppelganger. But the drunk doesn't play as someone who's in play. I'm gonna kill this confessor. You were the drunk. Okay. I should have... My first initial reaction was to check you to be drunk, but I didn't, and I don't know why. You're 1 away from someone who's corrupted. There... I don't believe you. You're the counselor sitting next to the plague doctor. You're drunk corruption. You're saying one of you. I think you're plague doctor corruption. You're saying 1, 2, 5. Left side's more evil. One or 4. Why are you not? I don't believe you. You were the witch. Which means we can reveal this one. Claiming that 5 is good. You're saying the left side's more evil, which would not be true if you were evil. Saying 1, 5, or 2, which makes sense. Nope. Architect was indeed telling the truth. The left side is more evil, which implicates you. Or you. But you're not corrupted, according to the Plague Doctor, who is good according to the Gemcrafter, so it's probably the Empress. Nope, the Empress was indeed corrupted. You were just lying. Okay. If I had sat on that, maybe I could have figured out that they both would be liars, but I don't know. Okay, from the top, 2 evils. Witch and a Ba, we've got a Wretch and a Plague Doctor. There are no evils adjacent to you. Who do we have duplicating people? No one, which means we should just be able to... Okay, if they're corrupted, 6 is evil? Wow. You're the original baker. 6 is a real knight. We know that's not true. Is there anything corrupting you? No, you're just a liar. Okay. Well, we found it. We've got a jester here. We've got a bombardier. Got a shaman and a puka. You're good, which is always good. 1 is evil. Either the jester, this fortune teller, a couple of jesters. You're 2 away from someone who's corrupted, so you're saying that the fortune teller is corrupted. Get this puka here, who is the shaman, which could be generating both jesters. You're saying that you're not corrupted. You're saying that there is evil between you two. Ooh, there's 1 evil between the confessor, that jester. I'm inclined to think you're the puka. But then maybe you're Plague Doctor corrupted? I'm going to... You're corrupted. Which means you're not telling the truth. Which means you're maybe the puka? Nope. Puka was over here, corrupting you. And then who was the... Oh, Plague Doctor, no, was not corrupting anyone. Okay. Got a Poisoner, a Shaman. Shaman's one card from the closest evil. You cured 2 corruptions. I would love to believe that. And it could be true. Poisoner is 1 card from the closest evil. Shaman is 1 card from the closest evil. Plague Doctor. It's not corrupted. But could be a liar. Judge. Is he telling the truth? You're saying that he's telling the truth, but... Druid. Saying there's a Plague Doctor. You're saying there's no outcast. I don't believe you. Because you're the Shaman. Okay. Shaman is 1 card from the closest evil. So if you were the Shaman, you would be telling the truth. I mean, if you were the Poisoner, you would be telling the truth, which can't be the case. So you can't be the Poisoner. Among 3-7, you're saying he's telling the truth. I don't know who's poisoned. Like, you could be poisoning this scout, and the Shaman could be over here. But then there wouldn't be enough poison for you to be curing. I don't... Okay, this alchemist is telling the truth. He killed 2 poison. 1 from the Plague Doctor, 1 from the Poisoner. Is it the Bombardier? Well, I'm gonna test it. Yep, the Bombardier was the Poisoner. I didn't want to... It occurred to me that this Bombardier being the Poisoner would make sense. Poisoning this scout, who was one of the ones cured. The Plague Doctor poisoned someone over here who was cured. But I just didn't want to attack the Poisoner, I didn't want to attack the Bombardier for fear that he wasn't the Poisoner. But it did work out. Lover, you have 1 evil adjacent to you. We've got a Puppeteer. And no one that should be poisoned. You're saying 7 is the real Bombardier. I'm gonna just hard test you. No. You're saying that tracks. So I'm inclined to believe you. I'm inclined to believe you. Inclined to believe you. 1 card from the closest evil. Slayer. Couldn't kill 1. Judge? You're saying you're telling the truth. Which the hunter might be lying. You'd be evil, you'd be telling the truth, you'd be correct not being able to kill. Hunter. Okay. I don't think there's a way for me to distinguish between these two being the puppet versus not. So I'm just gonna kill them both. Between 6, 7, and yourself, either one of these is... Okay. That's a little confusing. We've got a poisoner, we've got a doppelganger, so you both could be real bishops. You're 4 cards away from the closest evil. And you're 4 cards from the closest evil. You're saying 9 is the real lover. I'm inclined to believe you. I'm inclined to believe you. But we don't have the Plague Doctor actually out, so that's fine. Got a doppelganger and a wretch. So I'm inclined to believe that you're both good. Although maybe not your information. Evil's not adjacent to each other. Ooh. I was gonna say, I might think that you're true, and these are the poisoner and... Okay, so poisoner, Ba, poisoned, true, true, true. Oh, wait, hold on. You're not saying these 3... I'm getting confused again. You're not saying these 3, one of them's evil. You're saying one of them's an outcast. So you'd be a doppelganger, a villager, minion. So the poisoner's the minion. And the Ba's a demon. You're saying... So you're lying. What you're saying doesn't make sense. So what could be causing you to not be making sense? Poisoner? So you're poisoning. So in that world, you're... But then you would be telling the truth. Okay, I'm going after this hunter. Poisoner, poisoning here. Because this is true. Okay, so if you're true... And you are... You have to be poisoned. You have to be lying. You're lying. No, but then you would be poisoned. Who is the poisoner poisoning? That's the real question. You're saying one of you's the doppelganger, so you're confirmed. You have to be lying. There's a wretch there. I have lost track of the wretch yet again. You know what the problem is? Is I hover over here and I see good on that right side there, and I go, well, okay, so you're makes sense. But that's not true. You are poisoned because you are a liar. We know you're a liar. And that you can't be poisoned. So you have to be the bot, right? You're saying... Oracle's the minion. You're the bishop. So you're saying you're the real bishop. You're the doppelganger. Which, in both of your scenarios, it makes sense that you're the doppelganger. You're the Ba who is lying. And you're poisoned. Okay. I did figure out that puzzle entirely. Scout Puppeteer is one card away. We've got a Puppeteer... Excuse me. We've got a Puppeteer Ba. We've got a Doppelganger Bombardier Wretch. One is evil out of these three. There's two pairs of evil. You're saying that one of them's... Okay. We didn't get the wretch, so we know there is a doppelganger out there. Which would make sense. We have anyone poisoning? No, the puppeteer evil someone, but does not poison them. So I'm inclined to think that you're true, you're true, you're true. You're true. One is evil between the three of you. The druid... No outcasts. I don't believe that. Maybe I should have included the bombardier. Why? Puppeteer is one, so you're true. I don't think this knitter is true. The knitter is the puppet, which means that there are indeed two pairs of evil, which would be you two, right? You're also evil. Yeah. In this case, that would be true. Puppeteer is close. Yeah. Okay, so this whole left side here. Oh. This whole left side here. We've got a dreamer, we've got a hunter. We've got, what? A witch and a ba out there. You're saying there's only one pair. You're 3 away. You're 2 away. You've got a doppelganger, so I'm inclined to believe you both are real. One is evil between these three. One is evil between those three. Closest evil is counterclockwise. I don't like that you don't give the arrows when you decide to randomly give information out. Only one pair of evil. Got 3 evil out there. You're saying that there's 2. We've got a doppelganger, but nothing else duplicating. I don't believe you. Okay. One is evil among those 3. You're saying one is evil among those 3. I don't believe you. There's only one pair of evil. Do we have anyone poisoning? No. Okay, so if you're evil, you would be correct, and then the last evil would be up there, right? Hunter, you're the witch. Flip you. Knight, let's hard test you. Knight was not real. Lilith. New character unlocked. Wait, didn't we already unlock Lilith? Am I confused? Oh, I'm always confused. Between 1 and 7, there's a minion and a villager. You should be giving me an outcast. Why aren't you giving me an outcast? Bishop, you're being claimed that the Empress is claiming that you're evil, and I'm inclined to believe it. No, okay. You're saying the truth. Why couldn't you give me an evil? Fortune teller. Okay, so you were poisoning this Empress, which is why she was saying there was an evil. Why were you not giving me an evil? You were saying between yourself... Wait, what? Between yourself and the poisoning, there's a minion and a villager, but why weren't you giving me the wretch? Okay, because the wretch doesn't count as an outcast for you. Okay, weird combination, which is why I confused me. I've gotta sit and think that one through. Okay, we've got a doppelganger. One evil is adjacent to you. One of those three is evil. We know it's not that one because otherwise I would have killed an evil. Evil is counterclockwise. You're saying the... Okay. That tracks you. You were the original baker, which means that you should have been turned. But you're a doppelganger. Got a counselor. Should be sitting next to a doppelganger. I don't know why. So you're evil? You're adjacent to one? No, but then we'd be... This could be the doppelganger. Okay, Baker, I don't believe you. You're puppet. Which means that you have to be the puppeteer. One is evil among the three of them. You could just very easily be lying. Dreamer, what do you say she is? Lilith. Are you true? You're correct, which means you're exonerated. You're saying you're evil, and I'm inclined to believe that. Wait, hold on. Oh, Wretch. Wretch, you were about to confuse me again into questioning the inland. There we go. Didn't kill anyone wrong. Ascension complete. That was our 4th ascension, right? Which means, yeah, we've now unlocked endless mode. We've unlocked the full standard, and if I check the compendium, these locked ones are planned, but not yet implemented. I think we're going to go ahead and call it there for today. If you've enjoyed this Let's Play so far, go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you... I think I'll do one more run, maybe see how far we can get in endless mode. And then maybe we'll come back to this at some point. So I'll see you next time.